Yep, that's all switched on.
Goodie.
So see what we can see on the way to Lahr.
How do you mean?
Engine on. Can see the little yellow bush
Up there.
in
Yes.
our front yard.
Yes.
The car is coming up from behind, and now we can go. There are two ways to get to Lahr. Actually, there are three ways to get to Lahr
yes.
from here. One is to turn right and go through a little village. The other is to go straight on, then turn onto the main road. And the third way is to carry all the way on, and then we go through another village which takes us through a third village, and then that takes us into Lahr. And I'm saying this for the benefit of people I might download this to, not to have a conversation, because you already know it. It's a bit misty today.
Yes.
The sun is shining brightly.
Yes. Pretty over there on your left.
There, it's a haze. It's quite a thickish haze. You quite often get a high pressure haze in summer, and this appears to be one of them. Buds are starting to open out on the trees, little glimpses of green to come. Cyclists on the cycle track, the intelligent ones. There are some who always think that they are taking part in the Tour de France and the whole road belongs to them, and they will never ever go on the cycle track, but insist on using the whole width of the road, which they're not really legally allowed to use. And if you try arguing with them, they try and damage your car by scratching it, kicking it, trying to smash the windows. So you learn to leave these aggressive idiots alone. And you can recognise them. They're all dressed up like the Tour de France racers, with their helmet and their tight shorts and all the rest of it. Now here is the choice: straight on to go through the next village, or turn right to go on the first main road. This is a main road that connects Lahr to a town called Kale, and at Kale is a bridge, or one of the bridges, over the River Rhine. And on the other side of the river from Kale is the French city of Strasbourg, that everyone knows about, because the United Nations has one of their big offices there. And now I can see it really is extremely hazy. There is absolutely no sign of the Schwarzwald. It's just disappeared, covered up by the haze.
Yes.
From an aeronautical point of view, it is possible to fly by sight, because you only need a 5 kilometre distance that you can see, and it is just about that. But it's certainly not enjoyable. Flying under these conditions, there's no real horizon. There's just a circle beneath you of visibility, and it's hard work navigating, which you've got to do by radio navigation if you really want to get safely where you're going, or straining your eyesight all the time. Personally, having flown under these conditions and rainy conditions, I actually prefer flying in rain than flying in this sort of haze condition. Because of the haze, the light is rather glary. A fair amount of traffic about. Usually it's much quieter than this.
Well, I think it increases as time goes on. And we are about to pass over the motorway that goes between Karlsruhe and Basel in Switzerland. Have another. I can just see a misty appearance of the Schwarzwald. No detail whatsoever, just a slight greyish haze. Yes.
I now have another decision point. I can either carry straight on into Lahr, or I can turn off to the left and go past the airfield. I think I'll go past the airfield. I've had one little video where I showed the end of the airfield, showing the runway lights. Here is the south end of the airfield. We'll be going past that in a couple of moments. Go. Factory being built by the look of it.
Buildings all the time, Yes.
going past the end of the runway. Off to the right is a little hut with the radio equipment for radio navigation, and the airfield's on our left. At least the runway is. The rest of the airfield and the airfield entrance we're coming up to. There's actually two entrances. This, on the left, is one entrance. This used to be a Canadian Air Force base. And here on the left is the other entrance.
Yes.
And on the right is some of the yellow bushes, which are all over, and some red ones.
Oh, yeah, that's, what is that?
I can see some kids from a school out having a little run. Senior classes by the look of them.
Given up the ghost. I'd say. There's a nice big one here. No.
And on the left is the local bus depot. And I can see on the roundabout they've got workmen busy because they like putting various plants on the roundabouts, which makes it quite pretty. The French actually taught the Germans to do this because there are a lot of flower towns and villages in France, which is just over the River Rhine, and the Germans have picked up on this idea.
Yes, yes, yes.
Just like the French invented the idea of roundabouts at crossings, the Germans have picked up on that idea, and they've eliminated traffic lights, and everywhere there's a crossing there's now a roundabout.
Seem to think that drivers can sort it all out themselves, which is probably right.
In the beginning, there was no such thing as a traffic light. But then, at the very beginning, there was a man walking in front of a car with a red flag. So you couldn't go very fast anyway.
Forward.
And over on the right is a place that sells big wooden statues, like totem poles and all sorts of goodies.
Stuff that's come out of Africa, I think.
On the right is an almond blossom tree. And we are now in the small town of Lahr. Police car. This is a small town, but of course where we live is not a town but a village. So here you have all the amenities of a town. You've got a hospital, you've got specialist doctors, there's a cinema, swimming bath, restaurants, but of course what you haven't got is ease of getting around and parking. As you can see, there's a few little places where cars are parked, but not everywhere. And now the Schwarzwald is beginning to make its appearance beyond the houses in front. And as you can see, due to the way the parking is allowed here or not allowed there, it's a sort of a zigzag way of driving. Off to the left is a park. On the left is a cinema. A pizzeria, a little inn, straight ahead is the market centre of the town. Flowers on the ground.
And tulips, basically.
Yep, variegated tulips. on the left is a new church that has only been built in the last year or so. And I can see an almond tree in full blossom on the left.
Oh, wait a minute. Because the magnolia is due.
Oh yeah, that is magnolia.
Yes.
Our magnolia tree hasn't really started to open properly yet.
Yeah.
And we have now reached our destination. Oh, we've got a good driver, allowed us to come in.
Let him go. Oh.
And he thinks he's in the right, as usual. German drivers always think they have the right of way, even when they haven't. And that chap was trying to go down the wrong way, past a little island in the road that he's got to go round. Only it didn't suit him, so he gets annoyed with me because I'm in his way, because I'm on the right side of the road and he isn't. But that's a German driver. They're never in the wrong, it's always the other person. And when there were two German drivers, oh boy. Right, we're here, so off we go.
There was our due, what we've got to go for.